Hello everyone, welcome to KISS Replicas. I'm David Pea. So as a follow-up to the last video that we did where we showcased the Dark Demon Destroyer armor, now we're ready to showcase what the silver variant looks like from that same time period. Now just to be clear, the armor did start off in the darker variant, and as the tour progressed throughout Destroyer, it seemed like the armor got lighter and lighter. What just started happening is they just started painting it every other night kind of thing to keep it silver. It was easier to maintain that way, and that's how it evolved into the silver armor that you see here, and then what was prominent in the rock and roll over era. So for those of you that ordered the silver variant, here it is in all of its glory. I mean, look at how great it pops. And the armor is identical to what you see in the dark variant. We haven't changed any of the armor. We haven't changed how we put it together. This is just a question of finishing. There are layers of silver here. It's not just one tone of silver. And honestly, this is just as complicated to get right from a visual aspect as the dark armor is. It's not just spray painted silver or whatever the case may be. As a matter of fact, it's intrinsically painted. So these pieces come out of the molds already painted. And that's an important thing to note because it makes it much harder to scrape the paint off. Now, as far as the armor and the shapes go, look at how great that collar slope is. Again, and you're seeing it on both variants of the armor, because again, it is the same armor, but look at how concentrated it is right into the pecs, just like Jean was. And the tell is the tip that you see right here on the collar, it tends to line up with the collar opening. And look at how great that whole curvature is and follows along with, you know, your normal anatomy. And as we rotate it to the back, we mentioned how there's going to be some hardware here that holds the lace closed. It hasn't come in as of yet. That's really what we're waiting on before we can start shipping them out. But the idea of being able to adjust the back armor in this vicinity here, what it does is it pulls the armor in underneath your pecs and on the upper abdomen, and it allows for a much greater control of fit. And the better it fits, the better you move in it. Now, while we're back here, look at how great the back of the collars are. Look at how great they float up there. There is a misconception, I have to say, that for some reason people have been asking why aren't these connected with a separate leather strap. Well, it's real simple. There never was a connection point between these two here. It just never happened. I don't know why we're getting emails about that, but we haven't put it there because it doesn't exist. And the way we've made ours, it doesn't need to, because this is heavy duty stuff. It's not going anywhere, and it's anchored properly to the entire harness that the suit is built off of. So there's no need for anything like that. And just getting back to the overall look, feel, and vibe, yeah, it's amazing to look at, but at the end of the day, it's not that we're aiming to make this look, you know, super cool or what. We're aiming for the look that Jean had back in the later part of the Destroyer tour. Now, if that's what makes it cool, great. That's what we're chasing. So we're not looking to hide any of the leather components that are visible on his suit. Some of the welds, it all has to be perfectly visible, and it has to respect what was seen on stage and throughout that part of the tour. Towards the mid to the end of Destroyer. Now, why does it look the way it does? Why do they both look the way they do? Well, partially it's because we went right to the source. So once we have accurate, and I mean accurate from molds and from forms that were taken from back in the day, and how we were able to then recreate ours and get to what you see here, that's the reason why. Our starting point was factual and it was accurate. So while they're painted beautifully and assembled the way they should, and I got to tell you, the fit and feel of these things, you're going to love them. All of this stems from the fact that when you're dealing with official merchandise, we go right to the source. So a couple of other things, just like in the case of the dark armor, we're still dealing with a rubberized additive to our armor. So now you're not dealing with anything that's going to pinch your skin or hurt when you move. This really is, and the way to put it is, it's a lot of fun to wear. Just as much as, for example, our unmasked suit that's seen here, we're still working on those as well. So guys, those of you waiting on your unmasked suits, they're also set to be shipping out between December, January, monsters as well. So even though right now we seem to be doing a lot of promo on our Destroyer suits, the fact is we're always working on everything. The Love Gun vests, the Love Gun suits, the boots, all of it. But right now, as far as a product focus, we're just elated to be showing you guys what the production pieces of the two different variants of the destroyer armor look like. Now, one of the last things I want to touch on is some of the calls and texts and stuff like that that we got after we showed the dark armor video, is people were questioning the piping. How do we do it? This and that. Why does it look as the way it does? Is it going to fall off? That was the #1 question we got. Short answer, no, it's not going to fall off because it's part of the armor. It is not going to come off. There's no way for it to come off because it's all molded as one. So wherever you see piping, that's hard plastic. It's part of the casting. It's not an add-on. It's not a glue-on. All of it is molded into the actual form itself. It can't be removed. It can't fall off or anything like that. So folks, there you have it. This is what your production pieces look like, again, for the dark armor, and particularly in this case here, the silver armor. And the sense of pride that we feel that you've trusted us to do this for you, it's hard to put into words. So we're looking forward to getting these shipping out. We're looking forward to your pictures and feedback. Guys, the wait is over. Here come your Demon Destroyer outfits. And if you have any questions, give us a call at 905-751-1556. Otherwise, it's all on our website at www.kissreplicas.com. Rock on, everybody.